we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Menu Monday. I'm in the middle of doing laundry and cleaning house, so don't mind me. But I wanted to let you know that I've got 4 new recipes for you this week. All of them fantastic, turned out good, a little more healthy than last week. And I have been working on putting more blue in my camper and less pink. I don't know, maybe I still love pink, don't get me wrong, but there was so much of it in this camper that I saw these blue and white striped pillows with the gold things on them. This is a pineapple, and then you can't see down there. In the basket I have a crane. I've got daisies over here. Daisies, and I did this picture I bought off of Etsy with the pineapples. So I have one there and one, I guess I'm pointing to it correctly, one right there. So anyway, I'm not done yet. I've still got some other things that I have to go pick out that have shipped, but I don't have them shipped yet because UPS can't seem to find me. I don't know. There's so many campers, but where I'm staying is like separate from the main campground, so they can't seem to find me. So anyway, I just have it shipped somewhere else and pick it up. So I'll show you everything when I get done, but for today y'all are here for the cooking, so let's get to doing that. So on this day I was going to be out and not home until 6 o'clock, so I wanted something pretty much ready when I got back. I found this recipe. It called for some chunky applesauce, which I didn't have, but I had regular applesauce, so I worked with that. The first thing I did was season it, and then we're gonna mix together the applesauce, which is 2 cups, and I have these little 4-ounce servings. So I put 2 of those in there with a cup of barbecue sauce and 2 tablespoons of dried onion, and that was it. Just mix it together and put it on your pork tenderloin in the crock pot. Now, since it was already lunchtime, I cooked this on high, and it said 3 to 4 hours, so I did 4, but it can also be done on low, 6 to 8 hours. And then it says to serve it over rice or pasta in the original recipe, which is going to be linked down below, but I just picked up some rolls on the way home and some coleslaw, and that's what we had with ours, and it was really good. It's a nice thick barbecue sauce, and it tastes delicious too, so I hope you give this one a try. Okay, for this recipe, it's said to use a 1/3 pound of ground beef. I used a whole pound, but I didn't triple everything. I just the meat, really. So I went ahead and got that browned up. I added in the spices it called for: onion powder, garlic powder, and dried onion. Now that our beef is cooked, we're going to add the beef bouillon and a cup of water, and we'll stir that in. And then we're going to add in the Marmite. I haven't had Marmite since I was a kid in England, but it really gave this dish a fantastic flavor. And I think I'm going to use it in more beef recipes too, because it tasted so good. As a kid, I only had Marmite on toast, but I don't know if my mother ever used it in recipes. But I sure am gonna try. The next thing we're going to do is mix in our soup and our sour cream, and we're going to just mix it all together, let it all get well blended. Now I found mine to be a little on the liquidy side, so I did put in a cornstarch slurry of 1 tablespoon cornstarch, 1 tablespoon water. This is most likely because I ended up using 2 cups of water and doubled the bouillon because I had used more hamburger. If you don't do that, then you should be fine. But you know, you decide if you need to thicken it or not. My picture's not too appealing, but it definitely makes up for it in taste. It is super rich and creamy. I hope you try it. It's really, really good. Now this one is an Instant Pot recipe. I haven't used my Instant Pot in a while, so I'm decided I'm going to start using it more, being that the summer's here. But the first thing we're going to do is cut up this chicken. This is a fantastic meal. It comes together very quickly, and it's really very good, so I hope you try it. Now our chicken's in here. We're going to add the ginger, garlic, and all the other ingredients that it calls for. You'll see them coming up. The only thing I couldn't find was my sesame oil. And after I put the lid on and set the pressure cooker, I found it in the pantry. So I did. It hadn't even come to pressure. So I opened it up, put my sesame oil in there, so everything was perfect. You only cook this for 3 minutes. I told you it was fast. And I have my rice cooking in the microwave. And there's the long lost sesame oil. It was a brand new one. I just got put in the back of the pantry, so I was glad to find it. After a quick release, I took the lid off. I did check the temperature of my chicken to make sure it was cooked, and it was. And then we're going to thicken the sauce. It says to use a cornstarch slurry. I did that. In the ingredients, it said it may need a second one, and mine did. So I went ahead and put this one in, stirred it for a while. It just did not thicken, so I ended up making another one, and that thickened it up right away. After you get the sauce to where you want it, you're going to add in your broccoli. And I had already cut mine up and washed it, had it in the fridge in mason jars. And so I got one out and started putting that in. And after you get all your broccoli in there, you just put the lid back on. You're not going to set it to pressure or anything like that. You just put the broccoli on top of this, what is now hot sauce. And it will soften it up perfectly. And I gave it about 5 minutes and just test it, make sure it's cooked to your liking, or you can steam it separately, whichever you prefer. And then I just served this over rice. Like I said, it was absolutely delicious, super quick, very little cleanup. Hope you try. Now for another simple quick dinner. This is a Philly cheesesteak sloppy joe, and the first thing I'm going to do is whisk together the cornstarch and the broth, and then you just set that aside. Getting the oil in the skillet here. We're going to go ahead and get this heating. We're going to add our onions, which I just used some frozen chopped onion, and then I'm going to dice up the peppers and add those. We're going to saute the two for about 3 minutes, and then we'll add in the beef and continue to cook. Now we're going to add the hamburger. We're going to break that up and then cook for about another 3 minutes until it's all brown. And then if you have any fat, you want to drain that off. Now we're going to add our ketchup, our Worcestershire sauce, and our taco seasoning, along with a little salt and pepper. Now we're adding the beef broth and cornstarch mixture, and we're going to simmer this for about 3 minutes again, and this will start to thicken up. Then you want to put some of this on your buns, and you can either put the cheese on it and then stick it under the broiler, or it says to mix the cheese in with the meat and then put it on the bun, which I didn't do either, and mine looks terrible with the shredded cheese, but it did taste good. I suggest melting your cheese though. I hope you give this one a try. Easy peasy. I hope you enjoyed this week's Menu Monday and the meals that I shared with you. I have more coming up next week. If you made it to the end of this video, please leave me a plant emoji. You should see my plant. Let me show you. I had to, well, Big Daddy repotted it for me. So leave me a plant emoji and I'll see y'all next Monday. Have a great week, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye.